again. I thought I'd introduce you to my dog, Rory, because you'll probably hear her running around or barking occasionally. So, without further ado, here's Rory. Hi. Can you say hi? Hi. She is a miniature dachshund, wire-haired, and yeah, she barks very loudly and makes little tick-tick noises with her nails. So, advance warning of that. So today's makeup, I'm going to do a more dramatic eye, and well, I'm not really sure, so we'll see what happens. Let's get started. I'm just pinning my hair back so that it doesn't drive you crazy the whole time. And a bit of moisturizer onto foundation. I've got Nars Sheer Glow in Ceylan. It's my favorite, so you'll see it a lot. Well, it's currently my favorite anyway. Real Techniques buffing brush. And you're just going to pat over your face. And then blend in circular motions. Okay. Now, because my skin is bad, I'm going to conceal the blemishes now, just so that they're not distracting, and then we'll move on to concealing the under eyes after we do the eyeshadow and everything. So for concealer, I've got a MAC Studio Fix in NW20 and a Real Techniques foundation brush. Just pat it over the spots and blend. Okay, once you've finished with that, we will move on to eyebrows. So I have got my Physicians Formula little eyeshadow quad in Matte Canyon Classics. And this brown one here, the one I use. And a Sephora angled brow brush. And we're just going to place it at the start of the eyebrow where my sparseness is. Shape and blend. I find this a little easier with a more magnified mirror, so I'm going to bring that in. And then just check to make sure that they're fairly even. Okay, I have got a Revlon Color Tattoo cream that I'm going to use as a base. It is in the color Pomegranate Punk, which is a burgundy-ish one. I'm just going to apply it with my finger up to the crease. Now, you could wear this on its own. I'm not going to. I'm going to layer it with an eyeshadow. If you are going to wear it on your own, or on its own, I mean, be sure to blend the edges better than I have, but because I'm going over with an eyeshadow, it's not really necessary. And the eyeshadow I'm going to use is going to be one from this big Too Faced palette. It's a big pink metal tin. Eyeshadows come like this. And I'm going to use this burgundy-ish shade Cherry Cola right here on just a Sephora shadow smudge brush using the shadow side. So load up your brush, tap off the excess because it's dark, and then pat it on your eye as opposed to swiping, or else you'll get a lot of fallout underneath. Some fallout is fine, we can fix that, but let's avoid making a huge mess. And then take a blending brush like this MAC 217 and just go around the edges and really soften that. Next, I'm going to take a color from this Smashbox Entice Me palette. I'm going to take this very intense blue shade along the edge here. It's sort of a navy with a sparkle on the smudge end of my eyeshadow smudge brush we were using before. And tap off the excess again. And you just want to take this along the outside edge of your shadow. Now these I find have a lot of fall down, so you are probably going to make a mess here. We'll clean it up, it'll be fine. So you can shape it a little bit like a V, and bring it as far under the eye as you want. I find about halfway is usually good, for my eye shape at least. Then take the shadow side of your brush and just blend that in. Now take the 217 you had before and blend this edge to soften it as well. Now, all the blending will have caused you to lose quite a bit of your color. So if you like the vibrant blue, which I do, just pat a little bit more on where you want it, and then don't blend or barely blend that. So you end up with something like that. If you like a really dark eye, you can go from here, probably skip the next step, just do a highlight, mascara, eyeliner, whatever you want, and you're done. I find that too dark of an eye, because my eyes are dark in color themselves, tends to make my eyes look really small. So I'm going to put a brighter color through the first third of my eye. So they have this copper peony here. I'm going to take the other side of this brush that I've been using and just put the copper on that. Same rules, apply, tap off excess, and then apply to your lid. And take your 217 and blend that. Just a light, quick blend. Now for eyeliner. You could do a liquid liner, but I like the softer, smokier effect, so I'm actually just going to take the same blue eyeshadow we used on the outside corner from the Smashbox palette on an angled brush and apply that to my lash line. The brush I'll use is a MAC 266, and again, this outside blue. And just really close to the lash line. Start this way with your brush, as you can see. When you get to about the halfway point, switch to this way. It'll be easier. And then I'm going to do lashes. So Tweezerman eyelash curler. It's a plastic one because I prefer them. And you just want to get really close to your lash line, squeeze and tilt a little. And work your way down the lash. The tilt sometimes causes you to get eyeshadow on the pad of this, so make sure you clean it off after or before you choose. For mascara, I'm going to go with my Clinique High Impact Extreme Volume Mascara because it's very nice. And you're just going to get really close to the lash line and blink, really close to the lash line, wiggle, and then blink. Then just comb through your lashes till you're happy with them. And then just get the bottoms as well. Same thing, just straight and then wiggle and straight. Now we're going to leave the mascara just to set a little bit because I find if you play with your eyes again after this, it tends to make a mess. So I'm going to go on to cheeks. And I have got a sleek blush. It's 3 blushes in pumpkin, I believe. It doesn't say, it tells you the individual colors though. And I'm going to use this orange one, which is called Lantern. Now, I understand if you're a little bit like, why are you using a bright orange blush? Because I wonder it all the time, but I love it on my skin. It looks really pretty and glowy, and it's a really nice color. So I'm going to use a Real Techniques contouring brush and just apply and tap off. How you place it will depend on what you like. So if you like the apples only, you can do that. I actually prefer to have it come down more like a contour or like 80s blush, which would be the only thing I liked from the 80s apparently. And so just add it on where you think you want it. And then blend it through. Then for a highlight, I have got MAC Soft and Gentle, which is my current favorite highlight. It's not too shimmery, and Yeah, it's just very natural, very pretty. I'm gonna stick with the same brush, the Real Techniques contour, and just take a little bit of that on the top part of the cheekbone, down the nose, Cupid's bow, on the chin. Then I'm going to switch to my MAC 217 and just apply highlight around the darkest parts of the eyeshadow. Especially with the dark shadow, I like to do this. I find it helps blend the edges and just bring back a little bit of light because you tend to get a little bit of shadowy effect. I'm also just going to put a teeny spot of highlighter on just above the arch of the eyebrow. Under eye concealer. Back to our NW20 MAC and our concealer brush. We're just going to clean up under the eyes because some shadow will have fallen. Sorry. So you can give it a little wipe first. Be gentle so you're not wiping off all your makeup. And then take your concealer in over top. Anywhere that shadow's fallen. You can also clean up any messiness in your line if there is any. Now I'm just dusting over the nose quickly in case there was any shadow I missed, because sometimes you don't see it and then you smudge it later. So now if you choose to powder because you're going out and you want it to last all day, or because you have an oilier skin, this would be the time. So I'm going to take my Physicians Formula one. It's a mineral wear, talc-free, correcting translucent, and a Sephora angled blush brush. Okay. Now onto lips. When you're doing a heavy eye like this, I don't generally like to do a dark lip, but if you want to, I would recommend the Nars Velvet Matte Pencils in Train Blue. If you do this lightly, it's a very pretty burgundy color. It'll pick up the middle color in the eye makeup and it would look nice. But it can get a little bit vampy with the dark eyes and the dark lips. And especially because I'm pale, I worry about that. So I'm going to do a nude. So I've got a matte in Naked Liner, and I'm just going to color my whole lip in with that. Then I'm going to take a Real Technique Deluxe Crease Brush and just use this to blend my lip liner. And over top of that, I'm just going to put a gloss. This is a Philosophy Melon Daiquiri. They smell amazing and they have a really pretty sparkle. Just going to take a little bit of that onto my finger and then just touch it on. And blot. And finally, there's a completely optional step, but because I have this product and I love it, I'm going to add it. This is the Sleek Molten Metal. It's in pewter and gold leaf. This is pewter, this is gold leaf. And I'm going to take the gold leaf one on a tiny brush, maybe not so tiny of a brush, a Sigma Performance Shader Lid E56 brush. And I'm just going to apply that to the inner corner. Now flip the brush over and use that to just blend it out a little bit. You can blend it a little further with your fingers. And then that's it. So pull out my clips and I will zoom you in on the eyes. Okay, and that's the finished look. So I hope you enjoyed that, and apologies if you didn't. Hopefully you like the next one better. Thanks. See you soon.